For over 2,000 years, a tomb has remained sealed beneath the soil of China, untouched, unseen, and feared. It belongs to Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, a man so obsessed with immortality that he ordered an underground kingdom built to guard him in death. But this is no ordinary resting place. Ancient records speak of rivers of mercury flowing like oceans, deadly crossbows set to fire at intruders, and chambers filled with secrets the world has never known. Scientists confirm strange traces of poison in the earth, while legends warn of curses upon anyone who dares to disturb him. Even in our age of technology, no one dares to open the tomb. Why? Because inside may lie the greatest discovery in history, or the deadliest trap ever built by man. Qin Shi Huang was not just another emperor. He was the man who turned scattered kingdoms into a united China. He built roads that stretched across his empire, laid the foundations of the Great Wall, and commanded armies that crushed his enemies with brutal force. Yet, for all his power, one fear haunted him more than any battlefield: the fear of death. Obsessed with living forever, he searched for elixirs, sent expeditions across the seas, and ordered alchemists to find the secret of immortality. When none of it worked, he turned to something even greater: a tomb unlike anything the world had ever seen. Buried beneath Mount Li, his final resting place was designed to mirror the universe itself. Rivers, mountains, stars, and entire armies sculpted in clay. It was not simply a grave. It was an empire underground, sealed for eternity. But the deeper question remains: what else did he hide there? And why has no one dared to uncover it? The emperor's vision: to understand the forbidden tomb, we must first understand the man who ordered its creation. Qin Shi Huang was not content with ruling in life. He wanted his reign to continue in death. For him, mortality was an insult, a weakness that even the greatest conqueror could not escape. He believed that true power was not only to command armies and kingdoms, but to command eternity itself. From the moment he unified China in 221 BCE, the emperor began searching for ways to cheat death. He sent ships across distant seas in search of mystical islands, hoping to find sages who possessed the secret to everlasting life. He forced alchemists to create strange potions, many of which contained mercury, ironically a substance that may have hastened his death. His obsession was so strong that court scholars wrote of his terror whenever he heard of death, even refusing to speak the word in his presence. But Qin Shi Huang was also practical. If he could not live forever above the earth, then he would create a world below it where he would rule eternally. His tomb would not be a simple burial site. It would be a palace, an empire, and a cosmos, all crafted to ensure that the emperor's spirit remained supreme long after his body had turned to dust. This vision was not just about immortality. It was about fear of enemies who might dishonor him, fear of the unknown journey after death, fear that history might forget him. And so he built a tomb so powerful, so terrifying, that it would demand respect from every generation to come. The discovery of the tomb: for nearly 2,000 years, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang remained hidden beneath Mount Li, guarded by legends and silence. Locals whispered of strange vapors rising from the earth, of soil that seemed poisoned, and of a restless spirit that would not allow anyone near. Farmers avoided the area, believing it cursed. The emperor's final resting place was left undisturbed, until chance uncovered its first secret. In the spring of 1974, during a season of drought, a group of farmers began digging a well in the fields near Xi'an. As their shovels struck the ground, they expected only water. Instead, they unearthed fragments of clay, then a head, then an entire warrior made of terracotta. What they had stumbled upon would shock the entire world. News spread quickly, and archaeologists rushed to the site. What they found was beyond imagination. Row after row of life-sized soldiers, each face uniquely carved, each body armed with weapons of bronze. It was not a random burial. It was an army, thousands strong, standing in silent formation, as if still awaiting the orders of their emperor. Behind them were horses, chariots, generals, and officers. The Terracotta Army, as it came to be called, was a masterpiece of craftsmanship and military discipline, frozen in clay. This discovery was hailed as the greatest archaeological find of the 20th century. Yet it was only the surface. For every soldier unearthed, archaeologists knew there were countless more still buried. For every chamber revealed, there were greater mysteries that remained sealed beneath Mount Li. The Terracotta Army was not the tomb itself. It was only the guard. The true resting place of Qin Shi Huang lay deeper, untouched, and more dangerous. The world had caught a glimpse of the emperor's vision, but the heart of his empire underground remained hidden in darkness. What lies beneath? If the Terracotta Army was only the outer guard, then what waits within the emperor's tomb itself? Ancient historians left chilling descriptions that continue to haunt scholars and explorers to this day. Sima Qian, the great chronicler of the Han dynasty, wrote in his records of the grand historian that Qin Shi Huang commanded an underground palace to be built on a scale that mirrored the universe. Inside, the ceiling was painted to resemble the stars, while the floor was molded into a map of his empire. Rivers and seas were represented not with water, but with flowing mercury, shimmering, toxic, and deadly to anyone who dared to enter. Mountains, palaces, and towers were all recreated in miniature, forming a kingdom of the dead. But the emperor's obsession with control did not end there. According to the texts, deadly traps were placed inside the tomb, crossbows rigged to fire automatically at intruders, hidden passageways designed to confuse trespassers, and sealed doors that could lock forever once disturbed. Some even claimed that curses were invoked to protect the emperor's eternal sleep, ensuring that fear itself would keep the living away. For centuries, these accounts were dismissed as myth, yet modern science has begun to confirm what the ancients recorded. Geological surveys around Mount Li show unusually high levels of mercury in the soil, levels so extreme that they cannot be explained naturally. The ground itself seems to echo the warnings of history. Beneath lies a world both magnificent and lethal. To this day, no one has seen the interior of the tomb. It remains sealed, its contents untouched, its dangers unknown. The silence surrounding it is both alluring and terrifying. The Terracotta Army may have revealed the emperor's power, but the tomb itself, still hidden, promises secrets far greater. What lies beneath Mount Li may be humanity's most astonishing discovery, or its most dangerous mistake. The mystery of traps and curses. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang was never meant to be entered. Not by enemies, not by thieves, and perhaps not even by future generations. Ancient records suggest that the emperor ordered his engineers to design defenses that would last for eternity. Mechanisms so advanced and ruthless that even the bravest would hesitate to enter. One of the most terrifying descriptions comes again from Sima Qian, who wrote that the chambers were filled with crossbows set on hair triggers, ready to fire the moment a door was disturbed. Imagine stepping into a dark corridor only to be met with a storm of arrows released by invisible machines, built over 2,000 years ago, yet still deadly if preserved. Some archaeologists believe that these mechanisms, sealed in an airtight environment, could still function today. Then there are the legends of poison gases and hidden traps. Some say that the tomb contains chambers rigged to release toxic fumes if breached, a final weapon to strike down intruders. Others whisper of floors that collapse without warning, plunging trespassers into pits where escape would be impossible. Whether fact or fiction, these warnings have been enough to keep explorers at bay. Beyond mechanical defenses, there is the weight of superstition. China, like many ancient civilizations, believed deeply in curses. Tombs were sacred spaces, and disturbing them was thought to bring misfortune, sickness, or death. The sudden and mysterious deaths of those who opened other ancient graves, such as the curse of Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, only added fuel to the fear. Could Qin Shi Huang's tomb hold a curse far greater, one powerful enough to deter even modern scientists? Perhaps the greatest curse, however, is the one humanity fears most, the irreversible loss of history. To rush into the tomb without care could destroy fragile artifacts, erase invaluable knowledge, and reduce one of the world's greatest mysteries to rubble. And so, the traps of the emperor are not only made of wood, metal, or poison. They are psychological, ethical, and eternal. Modern dilemma: science versus preservation. The mystery of Qin Shi Huang's tomb is not that we lack the tools to open it. It is that the world cannot decide whether we should. Archaeologists and scientists face a dilemma unlike any other in history, between the desire for knowledge and the responsibility of preservation. On one hand, modern technology offers possibilities the ancients could never imagine. Ground-penetrating radar and advanced imaging techniques have already revealed hints of chambers beneath Mount Li. Drones and robotics could, in theory, explore the tomb without human risk. With careful planning, humanity could finally unlock the secrets that have remained sealed for over 2 millennia. Yet, the dangers are enormous. The tomb was built with delicate materials that could crumble the moment they are exposed to air. Lacquer, wood, silk, and pigments preserved underground for centuries would disintegrate instantly upon contact with modern conditions. The Terracotta Army itself proved this point. Many of the vibrant colors painted on the soldiers vanished within minutes of exposure. Opening the tomb today might mean losing treasures forever. There is also the issue of toxins. Scientific surveys confirm extremely high concentrations of mercury in the soil around the site. If the rivers of mercury described by Sima Qian are real, disturbing them could unleash a toxic disaster, harming both the site and the surrounding environment. Beyond the physical risks lies the moral question: does humanity have the right to disturb the eternal rest of the dead? Qin Shi Huang's tomb was built to last forever, to be sealed for eternity. By breaking that seal, we would not only challenge history, but also defy the very wishes of the man who ordered it. For now, China has chosen caution. Authorities have declared that the tomb will remain untouched until technology can guarantee safe excavation. It is a decision both respected and criticized. Respected for its wisdom, criticized for denying the world a chance to uncover one of humanity's greatest mysteries. And so, the forbidden tomb remains silent, waiting for a future where knowledge and preservation can finally meet without destruction. Global fascination and theories. Forbidden Tomb of Qin Shi Huang has become more than a historical site. It is a canvas for imagination, fueling theories that range from the scholarly to the fantastical. Around the world, people ask, what could truly lie within those sealed chambers? Historians argue that the tomb may hold invaluable treasures, artifacts of the Qin dynasty, texts long thought lost, and insights into one of the most secretive empires in human history. The scale of the Terracotta Army alone suggests that what lies inside could completely reshape our understanding of ancient China. But beyond academia, conspiracy theories abound. Some claim the tomb hides technologies unknown to the modern world, perhaps weapons or inventions centuries ahead of their time. Others whisper about extraterrestrial involvement, imagining that Qin Shi Huang's obsession with immortality may have been sparked by knowledge from beyond the stars. There are also spiritual interpretations. Many in China believe the tomb holds not just objects, but energies, forces that were never meant to be disturbed. In this sense, the tomb is not merely a grave, but a boundary, protecting both the living and the dead from what lies inside. What is undeniable is the global fascination it continues to inspire. From scientists to storytellers, the Forbidden Tomb is a reminder that even in an age of satellites and artificial intelligence, mysteries still exist that remain beyond our reach, mysteries that keep the world wondering. Conclusion. For more than 2,000 years, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang has remained sealed, untouched by human hands, protected by both science and superstition. It is a place where history, myth, and fear are woven together into one of the greatest enigmas of our world. We have seen the armies that guard it, read the warnings carved into history, and measured the poisons hidden in its soil. Yet the heart of the emperor's underground empire remains silent. Perhaps it is waiting for a future when humanity develops the wisdom and technology to open it without destroying what lies inside. Or perhaps it was never meant to be opened at all. And so, the question lingers. Will the forbidden tomb one day reveal its secrets? Or will its silence remain the emperor's final command, echoing through eternity?